Hey guys, it's your girl Carrie, and today I have an impromptu video. I wasn't planning on recording this, but I thought it would make a good video, especially if there's someone that's watching it that may be in the situation that I was in about 18 years ago. So if you can't tell, I am standing in my girl's bathroom, and it has not changed for the entire 18 years that we have been living in this house. It has been the exact same. And what I was doing in here, I was actually coming in here, getting it prepped and ready because we're going to give this bathroom a major facelift. I think it's much needed after 18 years, and we're going to bring it up to kind of like adult status instead of little girl's bathroom. As you all know, my oldest daughter, she graduated college this past year and she landed a great job. She moved out, so she has her own space. Ray, she is graduating high school this year, headed off to college, and she said that she is going to follow in her sister's footsteps. So once she graduates, she says she's not coming back home. She is going to get her own place as well. So we will be empty nesters, and we're trying to now make some much needed updates to our home. So in this video, I'm going to share how you can decorate your home on a budget. So you might be a family that is just moving into your first home, a new home, or you're upgrading to a larger home, and now you have this empty house to furnish, and you're trying to determine, how do I allocate my dollars? How do I allocate my decor budget to get all the items that I need for my new home? So let me give you a little bit of backstory. Actually, if you want to just jump right into the decor tips and tricks that I have to decorate on a budget without looking cheesy, I will leave the timestamp in the bottom. But for those of you who want to know a little bit more about my journey and stick around and hear my story time, you are welcome to do that as well. So when my husband and I graduated from college, I moved down here to Atlanta. Now, both my husband and I, we are both from up north. I went to school up north, and my husband, he came down south and went to Morehouse. When he graduated from Morehouse, he said, "Hey Carrie, Atlanta's where it's at. It's much, more affordable. We can actually buy a house if we move to Atlanta instead of going back up north." And so, we had a long distance relationship the entire time while we were in college. And so when I would come down here, especially in my senior year of college, we would come down and we would go on these house tours. We would go and visit model homes and things like that. I did not have that opportunity. We had nothing like that where I lived up north. There was no such thing as model homes, new construction, and all of that. And so both my husband and I landed job offers about, I think, between 3 and 6 months before we actually graduated college. We knew how much we were going to get paid. We knew our start dates and all that. So I came down to visit him right before we graduated, and we went to this one subdivision, and we said, okay, as soon as we graduate, we get our, start our jobs, we're going to put an offer in and buy this home. And we picked out, the home that we wanted to build. And so as soon as we graduated, sure enough, we signed a purchase agreement for our very first home. It was a new build, and it was just a small family then. It was just myself, Brian, and Taylor. And so we moved into our home 6 months after we graduated. It took 6 months to build. And the deal that my husband and I had, we said, we're both ambitious. We both want to climb the corporate ladder. How are we going to determine, whose, job takes priority? So the agreement we came up with was, whoever gets promoted first, we'll just follow that person. Well, within a year moving into our brand new home, my husband gets a promotion, but it requires us to move to the DMV area, the DC, Maryland, Virginia area. So, we just bought, dining room furniture. We just started kind of getting the basic pieces for our home. And so what we decided to do was to just sell everything. So we sold everything out of our new home and moved on up to the DMV area. And when we moved up there, obviously, the cost of living is much higher. We got a townhouse. And so relocated up there, started getting a few pieces for that place. 9 months later, my husband's promoted again. And this time we need to move to Alabama. So I'm like, oh man, we're moving again. So we sold everything in our townhouse and we headed on down to Alabama. And so when we moved to Alabama, we said, you know what, we're not going to get a house, we're not going to do anything, because it seems like every 9 months to a year, you get a promotion. I have to put in for a relocation package or a transfer for my company. Let's just get an apartment and see how this thing plays out, for the next couple of years. But if we ever make it back to Atlanta on our journey, that's where we're going to stay, because we decided we really liked Atlanta and we wanted to make it back to Atlanta. So fast forward 2 years and we moved back to Atlanta. So at this time we wanted to find a home that was new construction, but we didn't want to build from the ground up because we were both working, we're in our careers. We did not have the time to, dedicate for a new build, but we wanted to find a place that was new construction but had an unfinished basement, so we could decide on how we wanted to design our basement. So we looked up and found this home. This home was actually a new build. It was under contract, and the family that was supposed to move in this home the husband had just got a relocation package and he needed to move for his job. So this home went on the market. We snatched it up because it was everything that we wanted and the basement was unfinished. Now we were thinking, oh man, we're moving into this home. We're leaving a 2-bedroom apartment that had a living room, dining room combo. We sold everything with the exception of our dining room furniture and our living room furniture, because we had just bought this beautiful 3-piece leather living room set, and we wanted to keep that. That was a really, really good find. We spent good money on that. We wanted to keep that. And then our dining room table. So we still have our dining room table in our home here currently. That table is a little over 20 years now, and we have it in our eat-in kitchen. And then our living room furniture still in perfect condition, and we have that in our basement in the boom boom room. So that's all we had. And when we moved into this home, we moved into a 7-bedroom home. Well, actually, technically it's not 7 bedrooms. It's a 5-bedroom home, but then when we finished the basement, we added 2 additional rooms, but we don't use them as bedrooms. I use one as my craft room and the other one is a home gym. And so now we had to decorate this entire home. So we're 2 25-year-olds with 2 children. At this time, Ray was born. So when we moved in this house, Taylor was 5, Ray was 9 months, and we were just a young family, only just trying to live our best life. So me with my little CPA brain, I had my little spreadsheet on how much we can allocate to decor, our decor budget for moving into this place. And then I had to determine, okay, of this budget that I have, how do I split up the money for the various rooms in this house in order to decorate it and have it look nice on a budget but not look cheesy? Where should I spend most of my money and where should I try to save? And so that was a challenge. So that's how we end up at this video. I want to share with you some tips and tricks that I used when we first moved into this home and the house was basically empty, and how we filled our home with things we love over time and not spending a bunch of money. Now, the amount of money that I allocated for this bathroom, for the girls' bathroom, was $100. So I'm going to share with you my tips and tricks on how I spent the $100 on my kids' bathroom to make it a nice, fun, and cheerful space. So I'm going to turn the camera around and let's get started. Now this room is really narrow, but I'm going to see if I can pan around the room so that you can get a good view of it. So in there is the shower and the toilet area, and we'll go there later. This is the back wall that's, you know, decorated. And then as we turn around, you'll see the 2 sinks here. So the first thing when I'm decorating, I need an inspiration piece, and the entire inspiration for this bathroom came from these washcloths. Now, as you can see, this washcloth has seen many years. It's dingy, it's old, but I only have one left. It was supposed to be for decor. You know how you kind of set everything up and decorate, but my kids actually used them. They would take them down off, you know, the rack, use them and wash with them. And so I only have one actual washcloth left. I don't know what happened to the others, but that was the jumping off point. And what I ended up doing was buying several of the washcloths, the hand towels, and one of the larger towels. And this is what I actually did with them. Let me actually move these out of the way so you can see what I did. So I took 3 hand towels and kind of made my own hand towel chair rail. And so I just lined up 3 hand towels. I wrapped them around a board of wood, a very thin piece of wood, wrapped it around there and hot glued it to the board and stapled it on the back of the board. And then in order to kind of mask where they join, I just put in the trim and every, you know, at the end of each section of towels, and then I put the trim on the top. And that was our, you know, chair rail border. And so then my next tip is, if you struggle with a color palette or selecting a color palette, you can use your fabrics for the color palette. So any color that I see in here, and I have tons of colors to choose from, I can actually incorporate that into my decor. And that's exactly what I did. I pulled the greens out, I pulled the blues out, I pulled the pinks out, and then as you can see in the bathroom there where the shower and the toilet is, I pulled out like the you know, it's like a mint green color. So this bathroom is really colorful and vibrant and perfect for a little girl. So the towels, I'm going to kind of keep you up to date with the budget. The washcloths were $1.99, and then the hand towels were $2.99, and then the large bath towel, that was $3.99. And I haven't shared where I actually incorporated the larger bath towel yet, but I'll show you that later on. So moving right along, the next big impact that you can have on a room outside of your fabrics is paint. So I'm going to turn around and look in the mirror so that you can actually see everything here. So as you can see, I wanted to incorporate all those colors in this bathroom. And the 4-piece, 1, 2, 3, 4, the 4-piece wooden hand towel and towel bar set I picked up at a yard sale for $5. It came in a set, a 4-piece set. Got that for $5, and I just painted that, spray painted those blue. The 2 little letters at the top, those were originally black, and I picked those up from Garden Ridge. I think Garden Ridge now is called At Home stores. I picked those up, and those were $2 a piece on clearance, and I just spray painted those the pink color. And this little jacket artwork, it's like a metal frame, and then it has like, I don't know, it has velvet trim. It reminds me, it's kind of like Asian inspired, if you will. And I got that on clearance at TJ Maxx for $8. And I just really love this little piece of artwork. Let me turn back around. And that's how everything looks. Imagine the towels being hung there. And I just think it's not cluttered. Each kid knows where their area is. You know, Taylor has this side of the bathroom. Reagan has that side of the bathroom. Now moving right along into the shower and toilet area. This is where I used the larger towel, and we made a valance over the shower, and I placed the towel in the middle, put the trim on the sides, and then we have the fabric on the sides. And this is kind of like the same concept, except for us getting a thicker piece of wood. We got a thicker piece of wood, and then we put some padding behind it to give it a little bit of, you know, fullness, thickness, and depth. And we just kind of just wrapped it around the piece of wood, stapled it together, and hung it up with some brackets. And it looks, you know, pretty professional. And then we had some drapes made. And then this fabric, you guys always hear me talk about my favorite fabric store. I've been going there for over 18 years. I get discount fabric, awesome fabric for, you know, a little of nothing. And I got this entire roll. I think they were, you know, twice a year, they get rid of all of their fabric so they could bring in new pieces, and they sell the roll for $5. So whatever's on the roll, you might get 2 yards, you might get 20 yards. But I got about 7 yards of fabric for $5. It was a $5 roll. And so that's what we did with that. And then if you turn the corner, we're above the toilet, and this little thing right here is actually a planter, and I just spray painted that, and I got that from Garden Ridge, which is now at home stores, and I hung that over the toilet. We always just kind of hang, either put something on top of the toilet, a box on top of the toilet, and in their case, I just hung this planter on the top of the toilet to store extra rolls of tissue and things that you might need while you're using the bathroom. So I spray painted that, and we have 2 rolls of tissue in here, and then I always keep, you know, these are the doggy poo bags, but I keep these in here for when they need to discard like their pads, so they could be discreet and roll their pads up and throw it in one of those bags and throw it in the trash. And then back here, Ray didn't like the scent of this perfume, so she uses it as a bathroom. And this planter was $8 from Garden Ridge. It was on clearance. Oh, and I forgot to share this quick tip. I did this in a video. I think I did like hacks or tips when you have overnight guests. But I love these things, and I've had this system for years. And what I do is when my nieces and nephews come for the summertime and stay with us, it's a hassle trying to keep track of all of their towels and washcloths and things like that. So I have these little clips, and I have each one of their names, you know, printed out from my label maker. And I need to make 2 more because I have 2 more nieces added to my family. And they just, when they take their showers, they just get out of the shower and they clip their washcloth onto the clip, and everything is just hanging there, so everybody knows where their items are. So when you have a bunch of kids staying with you for the summer, just trying to stay organized and together, this was something that really helped us. Now let's kind of look over here at this, you know, vanity area, and whew, look at this. This, you know, is builder grade cabinetry, and this is the result of using, you know, cheaper materials. So I can't stand MDF, and MDF is medium density fiberboard, and it's not real wood. It turns out like this over time. As it gets wet, if it gets underneath that paint, it swells up and it starts to, you know, swell up, bubble up, and look a mess. So an inexpensive way to fix that without having to replace this entire vanity. You know, I wouldn't be able to find anything this long. It's 84 inches. I would have to, you know, get something built, and I don't want to put that much money into this bathroom. But what I'm going to do is just have the cabinet faces removed. So the base is still going to be here because the base is solid wood, but we're going to take the faces off. So if you look on the side, you can remove this. We're going to take that part off and have new faces built, and they will be solid wood. and those should hold up for the remainder of the time that we'll be living in this home. And so we're going to take off all those doors and just have new door faces, new knobs, and that's an economical way without having to replace everything. And then if you come over here to the sink, we have just this basic, faucet and really cheap Build-A-Grade stuff. And as you can see, this is starting to, chip away. Let's see, and peel off. So that's looking a hot mess. And then we have just this old-fashioned seashell, cultured marble countertop. And we're going to be replacing the countertop as well. And as you can see, our mirror is starting to fray, and we have like the old school lights up top, Build-A-Grade lights, and those are easy, inexpensive fixes. You can find really nice, inexpensive lighting. So I can't wait to share with you the new and improved adult bathroom once we get that makeover completed. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I gave you some easy, quick, inexpensive tips. And until next time, I'm going to keep calm and carry on. Bye guys.